state unless pushed by leftist forces, such as Cynthia Nixon. I mean, just look what he's doing now. Like, he's more left than he ever has been in his entire career. Just because he is being challenged by Cynthia Nixon, and it's just really quite a sight to see there. So, yeah, but Saturday's panelists felt no less forced in their subject matter as well. Rose McGowan was ostensibly discussing the Me Too movement, but really just used her time to promote her new book in her ultra-humanistic manner of dealing with sexism and harassment. She repeated various feel-good phrases about loving yourself and reclaiming your agency, gender aside. We all just need to be good humans, McGowan said, glossing over the many intricacies and structures at play in sexism. Faye Schlesinger, Oxy Media's managing editor, who was in conversation with McGowan, was positively in awe, complimenting McGowan's new short haircut as a way of beginning the conversation. Wow. Yeah, so a new short haircut, like, that's a bold move. People have been doing that since, like, I don't know, like the 1950s, but still, very bold move, no, I think it was like the 1920s they started to do that. It's not a very bold. If it's been around for the 1920s, it's not very bold. Yeah, Brightport in the festival was comedian and Daily Show correspondent who poked fun at gun-happy Southerners and xenophobia in a sharply funny 30-minute set that almost made standing in the pouring rain worth it. Like, watching Hassan Minhaj in the pouring rain is not worth it. I mean, he's a relatively good comedian, but I'm sorry, he's not that good. He's literally not that good at all. Like, he's not that incredible. If you may be able to tell, I'm kind of at a loss for words here because it just does not make any sense. Yeah, and by the way, I thought this was supposed to be like inclusivity and tolerance. Like, don't you want to work with these gun-toting Southerners to win some more elections? Right, Hillary? Like, right, all these stupid politicians you've invited. I mean, at least they invited Cynthia Nixon and Andrew Cuomo. Like, talk about more boring people. Like, what a sad, irrelevant festival for people who are totally unaware of what's going on in the world around them and are going to be taken by surprise when they lose yet again to Donald Trump. Like, if we keep up like this, if we keep up with Tom Perez and Mark Sanford and Karl Rove, like, how are we gonna continue? Like, these are some of the most, like, just disgusting people. And just because they're opposed Trump doesn't make them any better. I got news for you. Thank you so much for staying with us here. This is News Flash. Really appreciate it. Got some little Drake playing in the background. That's I'm Upset, instrumental version. Just let that play there. Anyway, it's now time for us to move on to a much more self-gratifying story than the last one. Jason Spenser, and by the way, I don't want to be associated at all with this guy. This past week, went on Who is America and began screaming the N-word and literally mooning Sacha Baron Cohen. So this past week, Jason Spenser, a Republican state representative from Georgia, revealed that Sacha Baron Cohen had tricked him into shouting provocative language during a real anti-terrorism training video. What he thought was a real anti-terrorism training video. Now we know that provocative language, Matt Wilstein of the Daily Beast writes, was the N-word. Yeah, you go, Jace. Yeah, Jace. So the shouting of racial slurs by Spenser, who was recently defeated in a GOP primary after serving 4 controversial terms. And how much you want to bet this guy was more right-wing than he was? This I want to find out more about this primary. This like lunatic, literally like barking mad, raving lunatic. If you've seen the clip, you know what I'm talking about. So I do want to look at this guy here. So this guy, after 4 terms in office, Jason Spenser, a majority of the incumbent state representatives in Georgia face a comfortable path to re-election. Most have no opposition in the primary elections, and the name recognition is enough to breeze them to another term in office in the November general elections. This was not the case with Jason Spenser, or Woodbine, in the District 180 race. So he was Camden in his home county of Camden. Jason Spenser lost by more than 700 votes. He got 1,241 votes, or 38%, while his challenger, Stephen Saints, a 24-year-old political newcomer who had never sought public office before, he kicked his ass, even in his home county. So yeah, he got 38% of the vote in his home county, Jason Spenser, this pathetic monster, like this demon. He got, like, literally, like, just no joke, he got 38% in his home county. So yeah, the shouting racial slurs who recently by Spenser, who defeated in GOP defeated in the primary GOP primary after serving 4 controversial terms, was just one of several unnerving moments from the outrageous segment of the second episode of Showtime's Who Is America? Week 2 of this newsmaking show featured a former Vice President Dick Cheney signing a waterboard kit, Ted Koppel arguing about the size of Donald Trump's inauguration crowd, and The Bachelor's Karine Olympios gamely pretending she'd help clean up the Ebola crisis in Africa. And as we know, I think we talked about it on last week's show, the premiere of the last episode saw some pretty idiotic gun rights advocates falling for Sacha Baron Cohen, who ran, again, to pretend to be like that Israeli terrorism expert, Ran Morat. So what we're going to do right now is, you guessed it, we are going to play some clips. All right, so here is the first little bit.
Erev Tov. My name, Captain Eran Morad.
Yeah, so this is Eran Morad. And he has had a pretty good history. Jason Spenser has. Before we get into this, I just want to say, this dude, look at can we just talk about it? This dude has literally included threats. He's threatened a black female Democratic colleague in a proposal. He's made a proposal to ban Muslims from wearing veils, or things like that. So yeah, let's play a little bit of a montage. So here he is.
Georgia General Assembly, that's the House of Representatives.
Jason Spenser, a Republican, threatened his former Democratic colleague after she criticized his support of Confederate monuments on Facebook.
Representative Jason Spenser.
She said, this is what Jason Spenser said. If you, black colleague in the Georgia House of Representatives, who just so happens to be a Democrat and a woman, you may go missing if you criticize my support of this. After he did on Facebook. Like, so this guy is a barking mad lunatic. So here he is. And we want to get to the next part of this here. So he is then asked by Sacha Baron Cohen to take a selfie stick of someone wearing a burqa, the same burqa he tried to ban, to and shove it under their because when you wear a burqa, it's a long, almost like skirt-like thing that goes down to your feet. So what he does is he asks Jason Spenser to pretty much take the selfie stick and shove it under the burqa, so it's like revealing their underwear, to find out whether it's a boy or a girl and whether they're terrorist or not. All right, so here's that clip.
Explosive. We pretend to be a Chinese tourist.
This is Sacha Baron Cohen.
Because the Chinese are always taking selfie. Okay, convince him or her that you are Chinese. Go.
Konnichiwa, Red Dragon, Beijing, Hong Kong, I've been to Hong Kong. Sushi, when I said, I see the Red Dragon, oh, do you speak Chinese? Ho Chi Minh City? Oh, no. So, no. Thank you. Red Dragon, chopstick, sushi, oh, no, I see you.
Good. Let's look at the picture.
Yeah, so he just goes on, takes the picture under the little skirt, and after doing that incredibly on the nose racist impersonation of a Chinese person. So yeah, that's quite some incredible stuff. Yeah, but then so things get even better as we continue, and so. Was this? All right. So as we continue, there's three major parts of this that are just your jaw will hit the floor. So here's the next one. So this next part he decides to make Jason Spenser do is like, the next part is, how do we stop you from being kidnapped by ISIS terrorists? So yeah, I know this kind of sounds like a French accent, like a very angry Frenchman, but still, yeah, that's pretty much what he does. So if we skip here, so yeah, this is how he decides to attract attention, to stop him from being kidnapped, and to lure the other people around that. Oh no, Jason Spenser, idiotic representative from the 180th district of Florida, is going to be kidnapped by ISIS terrorists. Let's alert everyone.
It is the N-word. Now,
So when he says, it is the N-word, it's like the one word he says, this is Sacha Baron Cohen, he's like, it's the one word that will attract the most attention, right? But he's like, there's one word in America that is the most disgraceful word, the N-word. You cannot say the N-word. And so this is,
I'm going to
let's
be
just
the
play the clip.
terrorist.
See what he does.
You have 3 seconds to attract attention. Go!
Nigger! Nigger!
All right, I should have warned you. We obviously do not condone this language, but this is what he said.
Nigger!
What?
Nigger!
Are you crazy? The N-word is noonie, not this word. This word is disgusting.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but so at that point, just pretty much proceeds to look up like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He has his like puppy dog almost like kind of look on his face. It's just like, I'm so sorry. I didn't something offensive. Oh my God. Yeah, so and then there's this whole part where he's like, and this is gonna be a little bit longer clip, where he's like, this is how he is supposed to scare the terrorist away, by making them afraid of becoming homosexual.
Intimidate ISIS.
Intimidate ISIS, he says. This is how you do it.
Show me the buttock. No, trousers down. Okay.
Pulls down the
Go.
trousers, underwear,
America!
and literally
Good. One more.
runs ass first into Sacha Baron Cohen, who's holding this kind of like big rubber plastic thing, who's like, he just seems to be like, I mean, I can only imagine what he's thinking. He's like, Jesus, this guy is crazy. But yeah, he runs up. He's like he's like red underwear on. He's just like running back, and he even at the end he pulls down the pants. He pulls down everything. His bare ass is showing. It's the most disgusting thing in the world. All right, let's play a little bit more
Full
here.
time, but louder with America.
America!
Good. We say in the Mossad, I mean not in the Mossad, if you want to win, you show some skin.
Okay.
Okay, show it to me. Now, try to touch me.
Oh yeah, he shows some skin, and it's way, way, way too much skin. All right, we're gonna move on now to Ohio Democratic Representative Tim Ryan. And by the way, I'm sorry. Before we get to Tim Ryan, just take a minute, because that was a incredible, pretty mind blowing story. We just went over. So if you want to take a minute, I totally get it. Anyway. Yeah, so Ohio Democratic Representative Tim Ryan has been telling political consultants and operatives he intends to run for president of the United States in 2020, and has begun to put together a team, according to multiple sources who have spoken to him. Ryan, who served in Congress since 2002 as a representative from the 13th District in Ohio, which covers Youngstown and the surrounding area, he's cast himself as an opportunity for the party to try and win back the Midwestern votes it's gradually shed over the last decade. A spokesperson for Ryan has declined to comment about this possibility of him maybe running for districts in Youngstown, Ohio. Youngstown was it was a big coal town. It was a place where Donald Trump heavily campaigned and really tried to kind of get back the working class vote And there's pretty much his district. There's a bunch of people who are really angry about the way things are turning out. He is trying to win back the Midwestern votes here. This is really what he's trying to do. And so the 13th congressional district is emblematic of the challenges the Democrats face in the Rust Belt. As a profile in the New Republic noted, between 2001 and 2013, two of the